Hello, my name is Bilal Talha, and today we're doing the Ebola outbreak in Congo, and I am given the role of a WHO director. So we'll just start with a little history and background of Ebola. It was originally discovered in 1976 in Congo. It belongs to a genus Ebola virus, which has a bunch of different viruses in it. So there's been various outbreaks since it was first discovered. It's very deadly, also known as a hemorrhagic fever, and majority of the outbreaks happen in the continent of Africa. It was first introduced into the humans through close contact with the major animal reservoirs, which could be fruit bats, could be monkeys, could be porcupines, could be chimpanzees, pretty much any wild animal, any tropical animal can cause that. Now, it's usually transmitted through contact with the bodily fluids of the infected animals and humans. So everyone needs to be really careful. If there are any skin breaks, or if someone is putting an endotracheal tube in, and someone has Ebola, it's easy for you to catch that. It's just a little picture of an Ebola virus that I just found on Google. Um, so, given my role, I mean, I figured it was necessary that I showed the current director of WHO. His name is Tedros Adhanom, and we'll just get started what the role of a WHO director is. So, as a director, my goal is to keep any of the outbreaks or any epidemics under control. Of course, none of this can be accomplished without the help of district medical officer, animal health officer, chief medical officer, which would be the right hand here, minister of health. Pretty much all of these, like veterinarians, they all need to come together, work together in order to eliminate this or any other infectious disease. Um, so as a director, I'm gonna do that, and especially working with an animal health officer, I would review and support efforts to investigate the animal source that caused the outbreak. If you can identify that, it's easy to just euthanize that animal. So it's the later down the line you don't have that many outbreaks. The other thing is I would love to gauge the extent of human to human transmission. Like once it got from the animal to human, what percentage of people are actually transmitting the virus? Um, and the other, after the basics, I would just like to enforce screening efforts in any other parts of Congo where the outbreak might not be happening right now, but maybe in the future might have it. That would have to include, you have to enhance your surveillance in affected parts and the surrounding areas. It would, the another important thing that you would have to do is establish containment and mitigation measures in case it gets worse in the future. And another goal is to make sure that there are enough facilities and there's enough staff available to treat these affected patients. From the public health perspective, a goal is to make sure that no one is really deviating from the standard protocol of using personal protective equipment, which is basically nothing, not no part of your body should be exposed while you're treating or just dealing with someone who has even suspected case of Ebola. Um, just a picture what personal protective equipment would look like when you're dealing with someone who are in their container. So we want to make sure that the suspected cases are quarantined separately until ruled out, and affected cases should be treated separately once it's confirmed that someone has it. And then utilize the comprehensive network. That's what I would like to do. I want to utilize all the network that WHO has made, and just basically implement the risk communication strategy throughout, and come up with ways that you can decrease the outbreak. And most importantly, I think is that you have to have enough medication on hand in order to treat the people who are affected currently and new cases that might be upcoming that you haven't even seen. So this, I found this picture on the internet. I found it very interesting. It kind of sort of relates back to my slide number one, where the chief medical officer, the state veterinarian, and all these principals, all these branches have to come together to accomplish a goal. And so, in order to prevent this outbreak from developing into a pandemic, I would encourage that all countries should be prepared for containment. Another thing would be they have to be prepared for active surveillance, early detection. You have to be able to isolate patients. You have to be able to manage them in case there is an outbreak in some other part of the world. And another, one last thing that I would like to say is that I would like to keep it very systematic by having, weekly or, maybe twice a week meeting with the chief medical officer, which, like I said, would be in charge of everything that's going on around in Congo or, any other place where there might be an outbreak. And just to see how the situation is and what you can do down the line in order to just decrease it, or if they need more supplies, if they need more facilities, if they need more doctors. So just like that. And there's a picture of a doctor that we're hoping that we would be, and we can deal with Ebola and be successful in the end. Thank you.